Hi, because we got cut off, I want to share what might be helpful for you. Um, you guys live very busy lives, and I wanted to give you that time to actually write down what we could do to get us organized. Angelique, specifically, I want to do a shout out. I'm so sorry for the bad internet connection. So I'm going to try to make this very quick, and I already went over the details, but for those people that didn't come, we were talking about February being the month of love and giving ourselves some nourishment, to sum it up in a nutshell. I am going to share it with the people that couldn't make it, so I wanted to mention that. I wanted to do an acronym. I want to do a poem where all of us could actually write down our thoughts about what we think about admiration. So for those people who wanted to attend and just write down their ideas, then by all means, this would be it. So I'm going to share my my thoughts here. Share. Okay, and I'm just going to present this. Okay, present. Okay, so the monthly acrostic poem. Okay, so what do I mean by that? I mean, if we were to do an acrostic poem out of agenda, it would be A for adventure, G for growing, E for excellence, N for Nicole, because that's who I am, D for divinity, and A for adoration. So I just did a word for every letter of the agenda. I want to do that for admiration, and by all means, if you want to write that. But from the sounds of it, there's some pretty busy people out there, and I am just as busy, but I have to say, I have mad respect for Angelique, who came to the meeting with me. She is quite busy. So sorry for wasting your time, and hopefully this will help with regards to how just kind of making time for ourselves. Okay, so the next thing, January reflection. So I'm just going to talk about that. So I'm just going to get out of here. Okay, I did write notes. So, January reflections. The first thing is we want to talk about your wins. What are your wins? And if you don't know what your wins are, just go into your phone, into your photos, and see what you have done. Okay, look, this might help you decide what to continue doing. Your challenges, and challenges are often wins in disguises. So what did you learn? Angelique, oh, thank you so much. And I'm so sorry. I'm not going to put any more music on. That just totally did not work. I had this whole vision in my head. Okay, so let's start over. Okay, so in January, look at your photo or your camera, look at the pictures that you took. If you didn't take any pictures, think of your calendar. You say you have 5 things, big things that you have to take care of. I want you to look at what did you do well out of those 5 things. What did you do well? Write them down. Write them down right now. Just think of 3 wins, okay? So I'm just going to make something up for you, okay? But if you had a clothing line, then I would say you were recognized for the beautiful clothes that you wore, that you wear, that you promote. Okay, that's just an idea. Now, when you write, I am recording this so then you can write this down later when you have a little bit more time. The challenges. Challenges are like our wins disguised because we're learning something. And if we don't learn it, we have to keep learning until we figure it out. I'm sure you know that from just being a human. So think of the challenges that were really difficult. For me particularly, I just, like you said, the efficiency of time is very difficult and trying to get it all done. So I was happy today, for example, that I actually got my newsletter out. I needed help. Actually, that's a win for me as well. I asked somebody for help. I bit the bullet and I paid money that I didn't want to spend, but it made such a difference. So it was a challenge. It was a personal challenge, right? Just go back to where you are. Thank you. Thank you. So challenges like those, right? Personal challenges, or just, hey, I'm in debt and it keeps building in debt. That's a challenge. But that vision that I have, like the vision you have, the vision I have, yes, no more eating out because we're so busy. How about we take a break and actually make something and actually be a human for a little bit instead of being a go-getter all the time? We might have to let things go. That's a challenge. Okay, so that's just some things to write down. Favorite moments. Okay, so what are your favorite moments from last month, from January? Look at, you know what? I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to look at my gallery here. Just look at your photos. We had a big snowstorm in Hamilton, and although it really sucked that I had to wait 3 hours to realize I had to walk home for another one, I actually really enjoyed the wine I bought when I got home. But something as small as that, right? Favorite moments. How about getting something done? Oh my gosh. When you take all your energy. Oh, how about dancing? Dancing's good. If you got to spend time with your friends, your grandchildren, children, that always feels good, right? So when you look at the things that really made you feel good, I mean, life is short. You have to remember these are things that you have to continue to do. You have to at least put that in your busy schedule and maybe let go of something that might not be as worth it. Okay, so I'm not going to rush through this part because this part makes us reflect and feel really good. How about that cup of coffee or tea or something that you ate that tasted really, really good, like a piece of cake or, I don't know, good steak or a nice hike in the woods. Okay, so just think about those things that you need to, in my opinion, need to continue. Okay, so there's that. Just for your knowledge, in case you care, I did make my own words for admiration. Let's see, what did you write here? Great job. Okay, so you saw that. Let me just go back to my list here. So I put A for adoration, D for divinity, M for marriage. Now I'm not married, but I just figure I'm pretty sure that if you're in a marriage, you would admire at some point. Inspiration, R, risk taking. I admire people that take risks. A for admiring. I kind of cheated on that one. T for time efficient. Again, I admire people who are efficient with their time because it's so difficult for me. I for intentional. And O for oscillating. Now, this was a really weird word for me because I was like, okay, why did I choose this word? But if you look up the word oscillating, it's like back and forth, back and forth. And I admire people with basically resiliency, right? And then N for nice. So even though this seems kind of like a silly game when we don't have the time, it's actually really nice to kind of tune into yourself and what comes out of your mind when you do like these acronyms. And this is really about self-discovery. This is why you chose the things that you chose to do. And that is something to remember, is why am I doing these things? Is it because I want to, or is it because I have to? And if it's because I have to, why do I have to? Just keep asking yourself why. You'll learn a lot about yourself. Okay. So this all leads to what do I want to start? What do I want to start? Okay. So when you look at these reflections, when you look at the challenges, you think, okay, so the challenges was I spent too much money. Maybe I want to start paying attention to how I spend my money, for example. Stopping, right? So what do I want to stop? And if you want to read a good book about willpower, I'll mention it to you because it actually really helps with sticking to what you need to do. Let me just go to that on Audible. If you're an Audible gal, if you're a reader, I'm pretty sure it's in print as well. But it is called I'm on another book called How to Be an Adult in Relationships: The Mindful Ways of a Mindful Loving, Mindful Keys to Mindful Loving by David Rico. But that's not the one I want to suggest. Oh my gosh, do you think I can find anything? The Willpower Instinct by Kelly MC Gonigal. Gonigal. Very good book by Audible, just so you know. I'm sure it's in print too. All right, so what do you want to stop? That's something you might want to say. I want to stop working so hard. Or I want to stop not taking breaks. Or I want to stop talking to this person because all they're doing is giving me a headache. And then look at all your favorite moments. What do you want to continue? Continue doing that. It's all about living your life to the fullest. Okay, so now you don't even just have to look at your photos. You can review your calendar and your photos from last month. Where do you see the wins? Why was it important for you to why is it important for you to look at your challenges? For example, your credit card bill. And like I said, favorite moments. So that was kind of what I've already said. Think of something that you did, something that made you smile, made you happy, an accomplishment. Challenges, something that didn't go right, something out of your control. I mean, that's also something you have to consider. There's a lot of things that are out of your control, and you have to give yourself some compassion. So, stumbling block, a frustration. These are important to write down because not to relive the moment, but also to relive the moment. It's also good to feel, because sometimes we just kind of work through it and we're just like, yeah, I'll get that done. But sometimes we have to like feel our emotions and just get it out of our system, because toxicity turns into stress, turns into cancer. We don't want that. If somebody we love, like if somebody's seen somebody that we know that is hurting, that maybe we can't help, that they have to help themselves. You never know, like what kind of, we could be doing great, but the people around us are not doing great. I've had that feeling, So, and if it's you, then yeah, it's hard to ask for help, but you need to. It's a challenge, but you need to. Sometimes some challenges are self-inflicted, some things are out of control. That's the wisdom, right? All right. And this is where I would have put on some music. So I'm not putting on music because apparently my internet cannot handle it. So I want you to just write down the things that come to mind. Is there anything you want to share that comes to your mind about your wins or your challenges? I mean, that's pretty personal. I know it's none of my business, but have you ever seen somebody, hurting themselves and just like, oh man, you can get out of this, but they just don't want your help? Okay. So another big thing, and this is just a tip, if things don't come to mind, is focus on a single area of growth. So there's a lot of things in our life, right? There's our home, there's our business, there's our relationships. I mean, there's even our grocery list. Like, I mean, I know that's our home, but like, maybe the reason why we're eating out all the time is because we didn't make a grocery list. All right. So there's, if there's something like your spouse or your parent or your friend or even an employee that you're having a strained relationship with, is there anything you need to focus there? How about health and wellness? Rest, like, are you resting? Are you going to sleep at night and not, the reason why I kind of did this for 8 o'clock is because we want to get all our thoughts out onto paper and think of a plan. So then that way we're not laying there in bed not being able to sleep. So rest is important. Nutrition is important. Movement's important. We all know this, but why don't we do it, right? Where in our schedule are we spreading ourselves too thin? Can we delegate? Can we trust the people that we're delegating to? If there's trust issues, maybe that's on us. Maybe there's something we have to let go. Maybe there's something we need to address. Who stopped us from trusting anyone, right? When we have to address those inner children issues, right? Decluttering. Maybe it's a matter of you've been so busy. Do we need to declutter? Do I need to make a plan to declutter? Core values. Is there something I need to change about myself? Like I said, like it's hard for me to trust. Okay, well, I'm going to start reading a book called How to Be an Adult in Relationships. Right? Finances. Is it an emotional reaction when we spend money? Education. What do you want to learn? Do you want to read 25 books in a year? Do you have time for that? Is that really important to you? Habits. What is there a habit you can grow that just drinking water in the morning every day? Because you know what humans love is they love growth. I know I do. I mean, it's not a coincidence that people track what they do when they do 10 push-ups and 15 or like sit-ups or maybe they don't do it and that's why they feel like crap, right? They're like, oh, I don't feel like I'm growing. Well, this is why you should come to the monthly or you don't have to come to the monthly Dance with Your Destiny, but you can certainly give yourself a monthly moment to write down what have I done. So then you don't forget, because you know what? I wrote down everything I did last year just by looking at the pictures, and I'm like, oh, I did a lot. I'm like, okay, I am growing, and I felt good. So I think that's important. So I'm not sure if you, considering it's February and we just passed New Year's, or I think we just passed even the Lunar New Year or Chinese New Year. But think of your word of the year. Last year, the previous year for me was empowerment. I wanted to feel empowered. Oh boy, be careful what you wish for. You get a lot of opportunities, right? You get a lot of opportunities to practice empowerment. So this year I was a little bit more careful, but I feel like the new year has already given me many. Yeah, it's important. You took over 50 webinars last month. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Wow, Angelique. Wow. Good for you. Wow, that's amazing. See, you have to surround yourself around people. I bet you have a really great I bet you have really great people that surround you. Because for you to do that much, there must be people that inspire you. That's amazing. So, yeah, the word of the year for me, for this year is organization. Well, let me tell you, whoever's throwing me all these things to do, I'm like, now I know I have to get organized. All right, so that's my word. So think of a word that you might want for this year if you haven't already. I have a feeling you already have. Okay, so, and that's why this month should be admiration. Think of the word admiration for this month. Who do you admire? What do you admire about yourself? Etc., etc. Okay, so what do I want to start, stop, and continue? Okay, so I mentioned this before, but I'm going to say it again. So what do you want to start? Things that are not being done, but you want to do. Things to begin doing to get better results. Things worth trying or experimenting with for better results. This is important because if what we're doing hasn't worked, this is why journaling is important. You may not have a solution, but when you ask yourself these things, this might be something that comes up. You just have to ask. So things that are not being done, but you want to do, things to begin doing to get better results, things worth trying or experimenting with for better results. And this might be just looking at the things that you reflected on that might help you. For me, things that are not getting done but you want to do, exercise more. I hear you. Yeah. So this is the thing. And this is not a linear process, Angelique, because I did all that. I started doing that and then things popped up. So yeah, it almost has to be so simple that you can at least do one thing, right? Mine was, and again, can't beat myself up, but my one thing was I'm going to go downstairs in the basement where it's the only space I could exercise. And my one thing was doing salsa because as I teach, right? So I said, you know what? I'm going to just dance more because I know I can stick to that. But these darn assignments that you still have to do and sit, like newsletters. Anyway, I'm going back to it. So there you go. Stop. Things that are not working or helping. So important, right? Things that impede or are not practical. Things are not delivering. Or for at least not for your desired results. Things that are no longer, things and people who are no longer serving you. That's a tough one, especially if it's people. Because at one point they served you. But, you know, when you're growing and taking a bunch of webinars, you grow as a person and then the people around you change. It's tough, right? It's not easy. All right. So things that are not working or helping, write those down. Things that impede or are not practical. Things are not delivering desired results. Things are no longer serving you. And make an easy way of getting rid of that thing so you can start bringing something in. All right, continue. Things that are working well. Things to continue to see if they're worthwhile. Things you like or need. Okay, things that are working well. Things to continue to see if they are worthwhile. Things you like or need. Sometimes you could write, this is just a sample sentence, deep digs for, I feel X and Y because of A or B, I want to feel Z, right? So if I were to replace those letters, I would say, let me think about this. I feel overwhelm and exhaustion because I want my newsletter to be done. I want people to be enrolled in my classes. And I'm on social media. And I'm not getting enough sleep. So I want to feel energized and organized. So I want to create a new routine. Something easy, something that's easy to and again, a routine could be difficult because we have so many pressing things. But a routine that perhaps can fit all 5 routines. Maybe we get up in the morning, have our water, walk to work, walk to wherever you need to be. There, you got your exercise, and you got your time to listen to your book or whatever, right? Just an idea. And then this is usually when I put on my music, but I'm not doing that because I learned my lesson of my internet. But I just want to give you some time to write this down. Just remember, do I have a Google my business profile? Yes, I do, Angelique. But I'm not a techie, and I have an idea of what it's telling me. Eventbrite has nice classes on local SEO. Really? I'm gonna put that on my to-do list. Thank you.
Power off.
Okay. Task. So, are these events called like local SEO? Okay. All right. Local SEO Eventbrite. Thank you. See, this is why I love community. We'll look that up. Perfect. Is this why you have so many things? Have you ever watched the book or listened to the book or podcast by Brendan Bouchard? Do you know who Brendan Bouchard is? Because I feel like you're a high... Okay. Well, I'm sure you've probably listened to somebody that's like him. He's just somebody that wrote a book called High Performance Habits. And it's a great book. But I haven't read it in a really long time. It makes me want to read it. But when I think of the 5 things that you do, Angelique, I am impressed, and it makes me think I should read it again. All right. Because you know what? When you're an exceptional person, you get exceptional results. But my question to you, Angelique, is do you burn out? I'm quite interested in that. How do you defeat burnout? Do you have a lot of protein? Okay, understand. Trying to step down as CEO, but my business is not. Okay. Yeah, us women tend to do that when we want to take over. It's so hard to let go. 5 businesses when I'm assuming you saw the progress. Have you seen the progress? Because I'm assuming for me, when you work on something for such a long time and you do see progress, how could you give up on that? Right? Like, how do you just say, okay, I'm done? The question is, what's the worst that could happen if you step down? What's the worst? You're like, easy for you to say. I don't have a business and I'm not a CEO. Like that, it's hard. All right. Okay, so think about what you reflected, if you did reflect in February, or when you do reflect. Oh, I see. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Oh, I didn't realize how that worked. Okay, that's not great. But do you like the people? Is that a funny question or what? Do you not like the people? You want to share the? No, I know you want it for yourself too, because you're the one that made up the business. I get it. All right. Well, the answers will come to you, Angelique, I'm sure. The problem, sometimes we just have to have the patience for the solution to come to us. Okay, so now that you've reflected, or when you do reflect on January, mention what you will take with you from January and bring with you in February, and what you're going to leave in January. I know we're already in February, but the point is, you know what I'm getting at, is you need to let something go if you, because we're growing, we're always growing, and almost like from month to month, we have to think, okay, I'm almost as a check-in, we have to let go of something so we can make space for the next thing. Okay, make a promise to yourself that you will let go of something so you can start something. Okay, this way we can make our intentions with more of a clear mind. February intentions, spiritual health. Okay, so whatever that means to you, it doesn't have to be, God. It doesn't have to be whatever you believe in. It just means your mental health, right? Your emotional health, your personal relationship you have with yourself, or the creative life. That's important to always have something. And I'm sure you do, because, oh my gosh, it's difficult even just taking care of one business. I couldn't imagine taking more than that. So you must have some wicked faith, girl. So, not wicked, you know what I mean. I hope you know what I mean. I'm not trying to offend anybody. Physical health, like you said, key relationships. What are your intentions? So this is just a brainstorm. This is what you should work on. This is a brainstorm of things that you should write down and say, okay, what haven't I? Oh, I'm running out of time. Okay, so I'm going to try to be quick on this, and I'll just read everything, and I won't blabber on. So physical health, key relationships, money management, even your home or garden, because I guess if some people garden, this is the time they already start thinking about that, I guess. Professional goals, learning goals. If that doesn't speak to you, then make your own topics. Okay, so fun fact of this year is it's the year of the snake, the Lunar New Year for the Chinese New Year, and that means inner work. The snake sheds skin. And so whatever doesn't work for you, shed it. Just let it go. This is the year to let it go. Tips and tricks. Can you use the theme of admiration to set your intentions? Focus on one area, such as your self-love or self-talk. Use a name of a song or lyrics that inspire you. Create a list of music that gets you going, that gets you motivated. How do you want to feel this month in each area? Right? What do you want to feel? If you if you want stickers, or if you want to draw, if you draw things, just be creative. Draw images, what you want to see. Images for each section. One thing you want to let go of. What things you want to start letting go of if you want to draw that. There's no right or wrong way. You can write a word, a paragraph, a page. Another tip you can do is explore duality. I want to do this, but avoid that. I want to do more of this, less of that. I want to embrace this. I want to release this. Affirmations: I will, I commit, I can, I intend, I am. And you can pull quotes. You can from people that you admire. right? The whole theme of admiration. You can change intentions to fit your lifestyle, such as, how can I have more fun? That's really important. That's really what it boils down to. How can I have more fun? If something is not filling that void, let it go. Just let it go. Count your losses. You can you can create a vision board. You don't need to have 6 areas of your life to work on, like I said. It could be 3, it could be 1. And if you're an artist, you can draw this out, like I said. Oh, I have so many other things to talk about, but you know what? It was just because of all that internet issues. How much time do I have? Let's see here. Yeah, I'm over. So please look out for my next one. Okay, thank you. I'm glad you didn't think it was too blabbery, but please look out for my next one. Follow me on Eventbrite. I'm not going to go too more into it, but I'm really glad you came back, Angela. I really appreciate it. Just keep in mind, you're doing great. I mean, how could you not? My phone died. Okay, well, listen, my internet died. Like technology, right? So please come back, and I'm so glad that we connected, and I hope we can connect again. And I will definitely be cognizant of the music. This was the lesson I learned, and we will go and please write down these things, right? Just think of past, present, future. If a ghost came to you, from in the Christmas Carol, if somebody came to visit you and they look at your life and then they look at your present, they look at the future, would you be happy? You know what? Sometimes overachievers, they think they can do so much more, but you need to almost be like, okay, why am I not happy? Why am I not happy? It could just be here. Why am I not happy? I'm not having as much fun. So, and I only am saying this because I am this. I love to get all these things done, and you just have to check yourself, girl. You have to check yourself and just be like, okay, whoa. How about tomorrow I do nothing? And then that way you get your nothing out, you get your nothing in for that day, and then and you'd be amazed on how much you can get done doing nothing for one day. That's what happens when we get burnt out, right? Our bodies are like, okay, fine. If you're not going to do it for yourself, then I'll do it for you. Okay. Anyway, Angelique, thank you for coming to Dance with Your Destiny. I'm Nicole Lamb from Dance at Your Doorstep, and I hope to see you next month. It's most likely going to be another Thursday around this time. So once I get to that task. All right. Bye. Let me stop share.